Welcome back to the T-Bird podcast. This is the T-Bird coming at you on the 22nd of April in 2025. Wow. There's no way to easily summarize the feelings that are felt today amongst the Hex and PulseChain community with regards to the unequivocal confirmation of Richard Hart's defeat against the SEC, and by extension, Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX unequivocally not being securities, 100% being legally vindicated. Everything that Richard Hart has done over the last 5+ years, all the work that the Hex and the PulseChain community people have put in for so many years are now being 100% vindicated by the justice system. So it's an absolutely historic and unprecedented day. Again, not even just in the context, specifically in the context for the Hex and PulseChain community alone. It's a landmark victory for the entire crypto industry as a whole. Whether the rest of crypto acknowledges it genuinely from an authentic place or not, the win is there for everybody, for crypto, because blockchain is speech, and the freedom to transact, the freedom to express oneself through code on blockchain is absolutely pivotal for the evolution of crypto to move forward in a positive way. And so anyway, I just want to thank everyone that's going to be rolling through, lending their support. I see a couple people already coming in the comments. Good morning to you, Sir ADP. Thanks for stopping by. It's definitely fantastic news for everyone in crypto. I cannot overstate how much of a landmark event today is. Literally just in the last 5 hours, maybe a little bit more than that, getting that confirmed, that full confirmation coming through. Now, I will just quickly jump in and read exactly what it states. So basically, in a nutshell, the plaintiff, i.e. the legal team that is behind the SEC, have officially issued the submission to the Honourable Judge Carol Bagley Amon, who presided over the case, who is the United States District Court Judge. This is the letter that has officially been made public to reaffirm the defeat that already happened back in the beginning of March. But now that the 30-day extension has passed, which was that extension request was granted by the judge, which was the request that was originally submitted by the SEC about a month ago. That 30-day extension has now been, that deadline has been reached, and as has been stipulated, that an amended complaint, or at least a valid amended complaint, needed to be issued within the last 30 days of that request for extension being submitted, in order to justify basically any kind of real appeal from the SEC side to come back to Richard Hart over the next 60 days, is my understanding. But there's no grounds for an appeal, because there has, in
in a basic sense, because there hasn't been any amended complaint been issued in the allotted time of the last 30 days that has been allocated to the SEC. So the submission reads, on February 28th, 2025, the court dismissed the Commission's complaint, granted leave to file an amended complaint in March 2025. On March 17th of 2025, the court extended the SEC's deadline to file an amended complaint until today, April 21st, 2025. Plaintiff Securities and Exchange Commission provides this notice that it does not intend to file an amended complaint in this matter. Dated April 21st, 2025, respectfully submitted. So in simplified terms, what that means is this is basically the exact moment in time along the process by which the SEC has been legally attacking Richard Heart and Hex and PulseChain and PulseX in the legal sense. This is the moment when the entire PulseChain network and the entire crypto community as a whole can actually celebrate in the context of fully acknowledging that it's basically the biggest win that we could have possibly gotten as a broader crypto community, not even just in isolation as the Hex and PulseChain community. So, I mean, there are different approaches that Richard Heart could have taken. He could have easily have gone down the easy route of settling with the SEC very early on when the attacks began nearly 2 years ago. But he's decided to take the harder route, and there would have been a ridiculous amount of legal fees that would have been incurred in the process of fighting back against the SEC's legal assault on himself as an individual, as well as the products that he's built. But knowing Richard Heart as a founder and following him for as long as I have been, it was clearly evident from the beginning that he wasn't going to just lie down and not fight back against these unfounded attacks. Because basically an attack on Hex, PulseChain, and PulseX is an attack on crypto itself, an attack on DeFi itself. So this fight had to be, the resistance had to be put up, and the fight has now been vindicated, as I've said, and it's overwhelming, very emotionally overwhelming today. And on top of that, just to pivot quickly into the numerological and astrological aspect of today, even though technically, I think in the US, it's still the 21st, but here in Australia, we are now in the 22nd of April, which is one of the reasons why I'm consciously desiring to put content out there today, is because 22 is one of the master numbers in numerology, and it is the second highest master number, just underneath 33, and 22 is the number of the master builder and the master destroyer. So in the context of today having very strong 22 energy, today for me is about exemplifying and exerting and acknowledging that 22 energy being about building something formidable for my own content and my own channel, as well as that in context with and in conjunction with
the Hex and PulseChain ecosystem. And but the primary energy of the day is 8. It's an 8 universal day. So if you look at the synergy between the 8 and the 22, there is the number one of the synergies between the 8 and the 22, because 8 is the number of money, power, and karma, and 22 as a master number is the materialistic master number of the 3. And the 3 master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. But 22 deals more with the materialistic realm with regard to building, being as a master builder, and 8 being the number of money and power. When you combine the 2 days together, the 2 energies together of the day, it's about building ways to make money, building something powerful in the context of in the materialistic context. So yeah, it's definitely important for me to capture and harness that 22 energy, and it's about 8 again, number of karma as well as number of money and power. In the context of karma, it's about putting out, what you put out is what you get back. And so in the context of 8 being the number 1 ruling energy of the day, I want to put out good karma by exerting that 8 energy and inviting that good karma to come back to me, being that 8 day. All right, so we've got some more comments coming through, which is cool. Who we got in here? We've got X-Force 1. It is an absolutely incredible day for Hexico. It's difficult to maintain emotional equanimity when all the emotions are running high with regard to processing the notion that all the SEC and legal attacks that we've had to endure and we've had to suffer through in the context of the price action, because naturally, like the hurt and the damage that institutions like the SEC who try to exact oversight over the crypto industry, they've essentially, at least the old regime, have gone out of their way to inflict as much damage as possible on investors. And what's referred to as battered investor syndrome is something that's not. People are very well acquainted with it, especially in the crypto world. Eddie P writes, "Yeah, you're in the UK. Made the mistake of waking at 2 a.m. and checking phones, seeing the news. Could not get back to sleep. Coffee number 3 already." I feel ya. It's a bit like that. There's a lot of buzz going on at the moment on Twitter, and Twitter naturally being the hub of where all the big updates and all the action is happening. And speaking of Twitter, just as a reminder, you can see down on my down below, that is my official Twitter X account, x.com/TheRealTBirdHex. That's where you'll find all my primary activity, putting out all my daily updates and putting out all my daily content relating to crypto, numerology, and astrology. Also, how numerology and astrology apply to crypto itself, and how they synergize. And I like to keep my content on Twitter relatively eclectic, and I'm constantly it's a constant work in progress, and it's always evolving. And so who else have we got in here? Hex Monkey, true OG who's been out here in the trenches for years. We win. All of crypto wins. Even the RH haters who will never thank him. Exactly. Yeah, it's very unfortunate that there have been a lot of haters. There's been a lot of unwarranted hate directed at Richard Hart and our community for insanely long period of time. And even at this point, when the official defeat of the SEC is written in stone and firmly established, both initially at the beginning of the February 28th, March 1st of this year, and now after the extension deadline has been hit and has been confirmed by the SEC side that no amended complaint is going to be filed, and so forth. Now getting the final nail in the coffin. There's still so much misunderstanding and hatred projected towards us as a community and to Richard Hart. And hopefully, as an extension to this emphatic victory with the SEC, there'll be some redemption and justice served in the context of the attacks that have been perpetrated against Richard Hart from Interpol. And that's a separate issue, but the community would definitely be a little bit of pins and needles still in that context of what's going on with those unwarranted attacks as well. But by far the biggest issue that's been now resolved and we can put behind us now is the legal assault from the SEC. And so I'm just, I can't emphasize how proud I am to still be standing alongside all the people who have really gone through the whole 9 yards with everything that's happened over the last few years, especially since PulseChain launched, and then the SEC attacks came in literally within a couple of months of the launch of PulseChain. So it's an incredible day. I'm just it's gonna take. I think it's gonna take some time for a lot of people in the community to truly let this victory sink in. And the really cool thing too is that the timing aspect of getting this victory firmly established is interesting and positive, because we still have a solid length of time left of 2025. Historically, being 2025, being the cyclical period window of time where we see the most amount of bullish sentiment traditionally, and so we still have more than, so it would be about 7 or 8 months left. Yeah, about 8 months left of the year, which doesn't sound, in the big scheme, doesn't sound like a long period of time, but time drastically slows down in crypto. Even just 1 month in crypto feels like a year of normal time. So 8 months-ish of time left of 2025 is more than enough time for a real alt season to manifest itself this year. So I'm insanely bullish. I want to give a big shout out to Nuclear Herbs, who is our resident legal practitioner, expert legal practitioner in our community, who has been a beacon of light and awareness with regards to guiding everyone else in the community who might not have
the legal understanding of things, especially in the context of the Richard Hart versus SEC case. So yeah, he's been instrumental in guiding us along the way, providing a lot of complex insight into how to handle all the steps along the way. From an emotional standpoint, from a legal standpoint, all aspects of things. So big shout out to him. And again, big shout out to all the hexagons out there who've survived and thrived through this bear cycle. And we deserve so much glory moving ahead into the future, which I'm very, very excited for. Who else we got? So ADP. Yeah, good to see everyone in the comments. Really appreciate all the people coming into the comment section, expressing their support. He never bowed down. Huge respect to Richard. We have released a heavy shackle and ball. Damn right. Damn right. Cannot emphasize that enough. Good to see you, 43. How many subs have I got? I think I've got about 220, maybe just under 220 subs so far, which is it's a solid sub count for now. Anyone that's out there that has even if you've only just been following me very, very recently and you've only just found me, this is the best place to show your support. If you like and subscribe, and help get my numbers up, does wonders for the algorithm, for getting my content seen. And people that find me through this channel here, it's awesome to get that algorithm fired up through this channel, so that people can also find me on my Twitter account, which is the vast majority of my content output. So all the support is hugely appreciated. I'm loving my journey into numerology thanks to you, and looking forward to learning more. Appreciate the kind words, ADP. Yeah. So everything that I've learned, all the important information that I've come to learn and understand in the numerology and astrology realm, is all through GG33. Gary Grinberg being the head honcho of and the founder of, he's the godfather of numerology, as far as I'm concerned. Everything that I've come to, I've been able, in the last 12 months since I properly started digging into numerology and astrology for the first time properly, it's been life-changing. Really understanding all the nuances, and it's a lot of work. Really digging into understanding, not just acquiring the knowledge associated with numerology and astrology, but understanding how to actually apply that knowledge in the real world is where the wisdom resides. And that's the very definition of wisdom, is ultimately the application of knowledge into the physical reality. So I'm going to, I'm extremely passionate about numerology and astrology. I always have been. I've always been intrigued by numerology and astrology since a young age, and I've always been deeply spiritual and intuitive, but only after encountering GG33 and understanding how to decipher, because basically what numerology and astrology is essentially decoding the language of numbers within the matrix, assuming that we live in a virtual reality / simulation or matrix or whatever you want to call it. And after
going into this stuff deeply enough for long enough now, I'm firmly convinced that the reality that we live in is a virtual reality. And so to be able to decipher the codes of this virtual reality correctly, and to understand how to interpret energy, vibrational energy, which is what the numbers represent, correctly, it can provide an enormous layer of edge over everyone else that doesn't. And so I'm going to continue exploring the depths of numerology and astrology, and more specifically how numerology and astrology ties in with crypto over time. And being able, and just having the knowledge of within numerology and astrology helps to make decisions, investment decisions, not just in the present but for the future. You can make decisions and plan your decisions around the specific energies that are relevant to you as an individual, but also energies that are relevant to the cryptos themselves. So, which is powerful. So take, for example, from an astrological standpoint, and when I'm talking about astrology, I'm talking about Earth Astrology, or also known as Eastern Astrology or Chinese or Vietnamese astrology. Next year, from February 17th, next year onward, is the beginning of the horse year. So what that basically means for Bitcoin is was birthed in the rat year, which was January 3rd, 2009, which was, it was in rat energy. The energy imprint was in the rat year. So what that means is when we transition into the horse year next year, after February 17th, Bitcoin will be in its enemy year. And because rat and horse are enemy signs. So that's just one of many examples, many examples of understanding what that means, provides you with very unique insight. And so in a nutshell, what that means for Bitcoin is that because rat and horse are enemy signs, and going into the horse year in 2026, Bitcoin being rat, going into the horse year, there being enemy signs and like negative polarities, negative energies. It basically means that there will be, there's a very high probability that there will be negative outcomes or negative things happening to Bitcoin in that energy. So I hope that helps some people as well. Of course, there's all the data points and factors that need to be explored with regard to crypto itself, and understanding all the like when it comes to investment decisions with crypto, there's so many factors to be to take into consideration. There's market sentiment overall. There's technical analysis. There's a whole laundry list of factors that need to be considered when it comes to executing important decisions with crypto, just within the realm of crypto itself. But it's amazing to have numerology and astrology to help assist in those decisions as well, and to connect those dots. So I think I'm going to be wrapping this up. I'm not going to keep this too long. Want to just see who else might be in the comments. Yeah, Nuclear Herbs has been amazing. I did hear on Spaces earlier that he'll be on Corey Costa. Yeah, man. So I actually caught some of that stream. So yeah, definitely show your support for Corey. He put out a stream and he had Nuclear Herbs on. So definitely have a listen to that, which is one of the most recent major updates for what's going on in legal terms. And some of the things that we can expect in the short term future with how things may or may not play out from legally speaking for the Richard Hart versus SEC case. And yeah, cool, man. So Hexagon Lost in Asia, always good to see you, man. Really appreciate you. Always up in the comments, and I recognize you from Twitter as well. Always showing your support in the community. Much love. And so I'll just close this out. Just quickly talking about the prices at the moment for the main core coins of the PulseChain ecosystem. So you've got PLS, the native gas token, currently sitting at. Just 1 second. Yeah, so PLS is up 5% on the day at 4034. PulseX up nearly 7% at 4029. Hex up 4.6%, hovering at around 0.0074. Hex on Ethereum also up a bit, a little over 3% for the day, almost back up to nearly 0.002. So the ratio value between Hex on Ethereum and Hex on PulseChain is closing, which is nice to see. And the incentive token, which is the reward token on the PulseX liquid decentralized exchange. It's the reward token for providing liquidity on PulseX. It is now back up to $1.58, up over 10%. So it's really nice to see some green candles coming in the last 24 hours on the news of the emphatic Richard Hart victory against the SEC, which by extension is an emphatic victory for the entire crypto space, and most especially the Hex and PulseChain network. And on that note, we'll close this out. Appreciate, it's so cool. I've got 150 people watching at the moment. Appreciate you guys checking in. All forms of support deeply appreciated. I'm going to be doing more and more streams, as mentioned in prior streams for the rest of this year. Yeah, it's the time for anyone else who's looking to get their voice out there and express their views and build their accounts, whether it's relating to influence, whatever the person's specialty is, whatever weapons they have that they want to contribute to the Hex and PulseChain ecosystem. This is the perfect time. This to me is pretty much the beginning of the snowball effect in terms of positive impact for alt season, upside price action potential for Hex and PulseChain overall. So get out there, get your voice heard. The momentum of positive sentiment is going to build. So yeah, let's get it done and continue to make history in crypto. And yeah, it's truly an honor to be here and to be part of this community and onwards and upwards. So this is T-Bird. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.